Hello, and welcome to Lesson 2, Scientific Tools and Measurements. The essential question that we will be focusing on is what are the tools and units used in science? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the different tools and the units of measurements used in scientific investigation. In addition to this PDF, you will also be completing a Google form to answer all of the questions, including the lesson review. Engage your brain. Number 1, predict. Check T or F to show whether you think each statement is true or false. A lab journal or notebook is considered a scientific tool, true or false. Scientists worldwide use the same units of measurement, true or false. It is sometimes appropriate for scientists to estimate measurements, true or false. Precision describes how close a measured value comes to the true value of the measurement, true or false. Number 2, infer. Describe how scientists might use this electron microscope for a scientific investigation. Active reading. Number 3, apply. Use context clues to write your own definition for the term standard. Example sentence. A scientist uses a standard unit of measurement to compare the lengths of different bacteria. Standard. The vocabulary terms that will be learned in this lesson is measurement, accuracy, scientific notation, and precision. Number 4, apply. As you learn the definition of each vocabulary term in this lesson, create your own definition or sketch to help you remember the meaning of the term. For good measure, what is measurement? In science, the ability to describe an observation is an important skill. A description is a statement that reports what has been observed. Often, a scientist uses a measurement to describe an observation. A measurement is a description that includes a number and a unit. Why do we use standard units of measurement? Measurements were once based on part of the body, such as arms or feet, but this method caused problems with accuracy. Body parts vary in size from one person to another, which made it difficult for two people to get the same measurements for an object. Over time, societies realized that they needed to make units of measurement standard. Using standard units makes it possible for a person in one place to work with the same quantity as someone many kilometers away. Standard units also allow scientists to repeat one another's experiment. Experiments must be repeatable to determine if the results are valid. Whether you are in the kitchen or the laboratory, it's difficult to work with non-standard units of measurements. Active reading. Number 5, compare. What is the difference between a description and a measurement? Please pause the audio now to record your answer. Visualize it. Number 6, which units of measurement in this recipe are not standard? Please pause the audio now to record your response. What is the international system of units? In the late 1700s, the French government requested that the French Academy of Sciences improve their own existing official measurement system. The Academy responded by creating the original metric system. The Academy has undergone several changes over the years. The modern metric system is now called the International System of Units, SI. The SI units are the language for all scientific measurement. There are 7 base SI units. They are used to express the following quantities: length, mass, time, temperature, amount of substance, electric current, and light intensity. Each SI unit is represented by a symbol. Each quantity can also be measured with a scientific tool or a set of tools. A meter stick is used to measure length. A spring scale is used to measure weight. A brass weight may be used when measuring the mass of an object. A volumeric flask can be used to measure liquid volume. What are the advantages of using the SI? There are many advantages of using the SI rather than other systems of measurement. One advantage is that SI measurements provide a common international language for scientists. Scientists worldwide can share and compare their observations and results. A second advantage is the changing from one unit to another is easier in SI than other systems. Almost all SI units are based on the number 10. You can convert from one unit to another by multiplying or dividing by a multiple of 10. Conversions in non-SI systems are more complicated when converting between inches, feet, and yards. Think outside the book. Number 7, apply. Do one of the following. Write a blog entry from the viewpoint of a member of the 1790 French National Assembly on the need for standard measurement system, or research the history of a common measurement such as the yard and write a report explaining how it came into use. Please pause this audio to record your response now. Made to measure. What are SI units? Earlier, we mentioned that there are 7 base SI units. There are also units that are derived or formed from these base units. Let's take a look at the units you will use in the lab. SI base units. Most often, you will use the base units for these 4 quantities in the lab: length, mass, time, and temperature. The unit of length is the meter. Length can be measured using a meter stick, ruler, or measuring tape. The kilogram is the SI unit for mass. Mass is measured using a balance. The SI unit for the time is the second. Time can be measured using a stopwatch. The Kelvin is the SI unit used for temperature. Temperature is measured using a thermometer. Derived units. The unit for volume is an example of a derived unit because it is calculated from a base unit, length. Volume is the amount of space that something occupies. The SI unit for volume is the cubic meter, but liquid volume is often expressed in liters, which is not an SI unit. 1 liter is equal to 1 cubic decimeter. 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter. Liquid volume can be measured using graduated cylinders and beakers. The SI unit for weight is the Newton. Weight is a measurement of the gravitational force on an object. It depends on the object's mass. Weight is measured using a spring scale. Measurements such as density must be calculated. Density is the amount of matter in a given volume. Density is calculated by dividing an object's mass by its volume. Visualize it. Number 8, label. Using the table, identify the measurement associated with each tool in the image below. A is a triple beam balance. B is a stopwatch. Please pause the audio now to record your answers. How can we make very large or small measurements easy to work with? Some scientific numbers are much smaller or much larger than those we use in everyday life. Measurements that are very big or very small can be confusing to work with. There are 2 ways that scientists can make working with very large or very small numbers easier using prefixes and scientific notation. We can use prefixes. A prefix is one or more letters or symbols added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. In the SI, a prefix is used to express an SI unit that is larger or smaller than a base unit. For example, kilo means 1,000, or a kilometer is 1,000 meters. The prefix milli indicates 1,000th, or a milliliter is 1,000th of a meter. The prefix used depends on the size of the object being measured. The table below shows common SI prefixes. Number 10, apply. The table shows how prefixes can be used with the unit for length. Complete the table by filling in the blanks. Please pause the audio now to fill in your response. We can use scientific notation. Scientific notation is a short way of representing very large numbers or very small numbers. Numbers in scientific notation are written in the form a times 10 raised to the b power. For example, the speed of light in standard notation is 300 million meters per second. That is 3 times 10 to the 8th power meters per second in scientific notation. The value of A is usually a number between 1 and 10. To find A, first locate the decimal point. For 300 million meters per second, the decimal point is at the right of the last zero. Then move the decimal point to the left until it is at the right of the number 3. The exponent b tells how many places the decimal moved. When the decimal moves to the left, b is a positive number. For numbers less than 0, the decimal moves to the right, so b is a negative number. To convert from scientific notation to standard notation, look at the exponent. If the exponent is positive, move the decimal point b places to the right. If the exponent is negative, move the decimal point b places to the left. For the speed of light, 3 times 10 to the 8th power meters per second, the exponent is 8. N is positive, so move the decimal 8 places to the right to write it as 300 million meters per second again. Do the math. Sample problem. The diameter of this Mimi virus is 0.000000750 meters. Write this number in scientific notation. Use the form a times 10 to the b power. The first non-zero number given equals a. The number of decimal places to move equals b. To get a, move the decimal 7 places to the right. A equals 7.5. B equals -7. 0.000000750 meters equals 7.5 times 10 to the -7th meter. You try it. Number 11, calculate. The diameter of a human red blood cell is 0.0000006 meters. Write the diameter in scientific notation. Please pause this audio now to record your response. Why are accuracy and precision important? A scientist wants to use tools that can provide a measurement very close to the actual value. Accuracy is the description of how close a measurement is to the true value of the quantity measured. The smaller the difference between the measurement and the true value, the more accurate the measurement is. Precision is the exactness of a measurement. A precise measurement is repeatable and reliable. If a high precision measurement is repeated, the number obtained will be the same or very nearly the same. In a game of horseshoes, the most accurate and precise player wins. Accurate throws are close to the stake, precise throws are close together. Although this question is not graded, you are challenged to try this on your own. Visualize it. Number 12. Illustrate. Draw a fourth set of horseshoes that represent low accuracy and low precision. Why do scientists sometimes estimate measurements? People estimate measurements doing everyday tasks such as making salsa or rearranging furniture. Scientists also make estimates of measurements. Scientists may use estimates to see if the data they collected are reasonable. Scientists may also use estimates to determine which tool is best suited for making the measurements they need. Think outside the book. Inquiry. Number 13, apply. Choose an everyday object and design a method to measure that object that is both accurate and precise. What tool or tools would you use? Explain your answer. Tools of the trade. How are tools used in science? A scientist needs tools to perform experiments. Hot plates can be used to increase the temperature of a substance. Test tubes are common containers for holding samples of materials. Test tube racks hold test tubes upright. Pipettes can be used to transfer liquids. Lab journals or lab notebooks and pencils are tools that scientists use to record data and observations. Scientists also need tools to make observations or measurements that cannot be detected by sense alone. A hand lens can be used to magnify small objects. For very small objects, compound light microscopes or electron microscopes can be used. Light microscopes use a series of lenses to magnify objects. Electron microscopes use tiny particles called electrons to produce clearer and more detailed images than light microscopes. Two types of electron microscopes are scanning electron microscopes and transmission electron microscopes. Scientists also use digital cameras to record images of objects or environments. These images can be used later to discover details that they did not notice or remember. Active reading. Number 14. Distinguish. Which is the difference between a compound light microscope and an electron microscope? Please pause the audio now to record your response. Tools are used to perform experiments and make observations. Visualize it. Number 15. Identify. List the tools in this image that are necessary for performing an experiment. Please pause the audio now to record your response. How are computers and technology used by scientists? The use of science for a practical purpose is called technology. Scientists use technology to find information and solve problems. Technology also contributes to the progress of science. Calculators and computers are two types of technological devices. They allow scientists to make quick and accurate calculations. They can also analyze data by creating graphs and solving complex equations. Scientists use computers to make spreadsheets, create models, or run simulations. Computers also help scientists share data and ideas with one another and publish reports about their research. Scientists may also use probeware, which is a measuring tool linked to a computer. Probeware can be used to obtain and display the value of a quantity such as temperature, oxygen concentration, or pH. Probeware also allows scientists to interpret and analyze data. It is often used in long-term projects such as environmental quality monitoring. When new technology is developed, scientists often learn new information. For example, cells were not discovered until the light microscope was developed. Now, electron microscopes can make images of individual atoms. Just as technology leads to new scientific discoveries lead to the development of new technologies. Thanks to the discovery of semiconductors, you can now put an entire computer in your lap. The first computers filled up a large room. Magnetic resonance imaging. Number 16. Hypothesize. Magnetic resonance imaging MRI scanners use electronic magnetic waves to generate images of the inside of a person's body. How might MRI technology be used to investigate how the brain works? Please pause this audio to record your response now. Visual summary. To complete the summary, circle the correct word or phrase, then use the key below to check your answers. You can use this page to review the main concepts of the lesson. Scientific tools and measurement. The International System of Units, SI, is the standard system of measurement used in science. Number 17. The SI unit for mass is the kilogram or the Newton. Number 18, the SI unit for time is the hour or second. Scientific tools are used to make observations, collect and analyze data, and share results. Number 19, a series of lens is used to magnify small objects in a compound light microscope or a scanning electron microscope. Number 20, a common container in a laboratory used for holding small samples of liquid is a hot plate or a test tube. Number 21, computers may be used at every stage or only to calculate results of scientific investigations. Number 22, a sensor that connects directly to a computer to collect data is called a calculator or a probeware. Technology is used to conduct research and to share ideas and results. Number 23, summarize. Why are tools and technology important for scientific investigations? Lesson review. Vocabulary. Draw a line to connect the following terms to their definitions. 1. Precision. 2. Accuracy. 3. Measurements. 4. Scientific notation. The options are A. Closeness in the true value. B. Description with a unit. C. Ways to write very large or small numbers. D. The repeatability of a measurement. Key concepts. Number 5. Summarize. Which of the following is not an advantage of using SI units? A. Allows scientists to compare observations and results. B. Can compare measurements made years apart. C. Based on the number 5, which is easy to use in calculations. D. Uses prefixes to express measurements that are small or large. Number 6. Calculate. What is 0.003 in scientific notation? A. 10 times 10 to the third power. B. 3 times 10 to the negative third power. C. 3 times 10 to the third power. Or D. 10 times 3 to the negative 10th power. Number 7. Identify. What is the SI unit for temperature? A. The Kelvin. B. Degrees Celsius. C. Degrees Fahrenheit. D. The Newton. Critical thinking. Use this photo to answer the following questions. Number 8. Conclude. Name the type of measurement the scientist in the photo is making. Number 9, apply. The prefix for the measurement that the student is making is milli. What does milli mean? Number 10, evaluate. The student measured the volume of water as 80.0 milliliters. She discovered that the actual volume was 80.1 milliliters. Is her measurement accurate? Explain. Number 11, compare. How might the student's recorded data differ if she were simply describing the liquid instead of measuring it? And remember, full and complete sentences. You've now reached the end of Lesson 2, Scientific Tools and Measurement. The essential question we explored was, what are the tools and units used in science? By the end of this lesson, you should now be able to describe the different tools and units of measurements used in scientific investigations. Please be reminded to record and submit your responses on the Google form provided.